Oh, hello there. First of all, happy 2021 to everyone. Yeah, this is my first video or first filming of the new year. It's already January 18th at the moment I'm filming. It's wild. It feels like we're already like months into the year, but it's only like the third week of January. That just goes to show you how much has been going on in the world. It's just been already a whirlwind, and you know, I hope that just means there's nowhere to go but up. So really why I wanted to film today is to kind of give a 2020 year in review. Just talk about the year so I can remember it when I'm old and frail. No, but I think it was just a really historical year, and I just wanted to document it so that I can honestly remember all the things that happened. 2020. I know that there was a lot of hype going into it. It's like a really beautiful, you know, clean number, new decade. For me personally, I just like had a really good vibe about it. Boy, was I wrong. No, but in all seriousness, it had a lot of ups and downs, which might be surprising to you. You might think that I was just going to absolutely roast the heck out of the year, but it honestly, it was good and bad. My family and I had a trip planned to go to Korea in March, so just heading into the new year and January, February, it was just kind of built anticipation for that trip. You know, we were location scouting, we were figuring out where we were gonna stay, what we were gonna eat, and all these things, and you know, we were just getting really hyped. And you know, I already like took my vacation days off, like we were ready, okay? Ultimately, we had to cancel everything, and that was a huge letdown. Obviously, health is the most important thing. We didn't want to put anyone else at risk, especially our family in Korea, and of course ourselves. So, you know, that was ultimately the best decision for everyone. You know, we were really hopeful that we would be able to, you know, reschedule that trip for, you know, September or just sometime later in the year, but that didn't happen either. After, you know, we had to cancel our trip, that's pretty much when quarantine started. You know, we were just kind of in lockdown, all kind of stuck at home. For me personally, because I am such a homebody anyway, I didn't feel the impact of it at first. I had this like rebellious streak in me that when someone tells me I can't do something, that's when I want to start doing it. So as soon as like lockdown started, you know, I was chilling, but then I was like, okay, I really do want to go outside, and I, you know, seldom say that. Honestly, the months flew by. It was just kind of a blur. I'd blink and it was summer. I'd blink and it was, you know, December. And now we're in 2021. Like, where did the year go? My last video, I talked about getting my hair cut in the summer. And then, you know, at the end of the year, I cut it again. So this is my new do, in case you haven't seen it. It's already grown out quite a bit from when I cut it. It used to be like right under my chin. But, you know, I'm getting a lot more used to it now, so this is my new hair. Really, it was like a YOLO, like let's just do it, and I just chopped it off, and here we are. So yeah, that was one of the big changes that happened. I also started dating someone. I met them in March, at the end of March, like yeah, like right as quarantine started. We started dating in the summer. It was my first relationship, so yeah, that kept things interesting. We have since broken up, but that's a story for another time. And then I think honestly the tail end of the year was the most eventful. Starting in about October is when things got pretty interesting, or just busy, I guess. Some really high highs and really low lows came toward the end of the year. So one of the highs is in mid-October, my soul friend and I, you've probably seen her, you have seen her on my channel. Her name is Kayla. She has her own YouTube channel, which I will link below because she is so much fun and just amazing. We decided to go on a little bit of a fall adventure. We both love the fall foliage, and Washington and just the Pacific Northwest can get so beautiful this time or that time of year. It was kind of spontaneous, and that's interesting because we're both planners, but we figured out like what we're going to do like I think a week before. Kayla was awesome. She like drove and we went to the North Cascades and it was beautiful. That was one of the first times I'd ever gone on a trip with my friends that was like outside of a school trip, and it was so fun and so many memories from that trip. I want to edit a vlog of the footage that I have from there as well, so stay tuned for that. And then the week after, my ex-boyfriend, then boyfriend at the time, now is my ex. Anyway, my boyfriend at the time came and visited me in Seattle. Sorry, my heater went off, so I had to take a quick break. I think I was talking about how my then boyfriend at the time came and visited. We hung out and it was really fun. Obviously at the time that was one of the highs. I had just gotten back from a trip with Kayla and then I got to hang out with my boyfriend, and yeah, so that was really fun. It was immediately chased by one of the lowest lows, or I wouldn't say it's a low, it was just a really tough time for my family. Right after my boyfriend had visited, I actually had to take an emergency flight back home. My mom had to get a surgery fairly urgently, and so you know, my brother and I just wanted to help take care of her. I wanted to help out as much as I could and just be there, you know, for family. And so I actually went to the airport with my boyfriend at the time. It's like so weird to say this like retroactively, but anyway, like, so we actually flew out together respectively to our different destinations. So that's like how back to back it was. Like it was a very intense time, like fluctuating emotions all over the place. So for about 3 or 4 weeks, I was at home. I took about 2 weeks off work. One was like a full week off, and then I guess I had 2 weeks where I was working half hours, just so that I could kind of help my mom around, you know, make food and just be there for family. And that was a really tough time for everyone, but I think it really, you know, did deepen our bond. Not that it wasn't deep already, but you know, yeah, it was a difficult but special time, I think, just for us to be together. That is one of the silver linings of the very, very tumultuous year that was 2020. I got to spend so much time with family, and you know, whether it was me going down or them driving up and taking me down or staying up here with me, we got to spend an unprecedented amount of time with each other, and to me that is, you know, like I'm so grateful for it. Obviously with Corona it was really hard. We couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't particularly do anything, but you know, we're all kind of homebodies anyway, so we were just happy to spend time together indoors. We did a lot of cooking and a lot of eating. I think that that was probably one of the highlights. Long story longer, being able to spend a lot of time with family was the highlight of 2020. I think very much a silver lining, and I'm very thankful for that. I also got to spend a really amazing birthday at home with my family, as I mentioned. I turned 24 years old, and I'm so excited for this year because I think it's a nice number. It's an even number. And I just feel like, you know, even though Corona is happening, I feel like it'll be a year of growth for me, and I'm just very excited for it for some reason. I have a good feeling about it. I felt a lot of love from my family, from my friends, and from my coworkers, and just, yeah, it was so I just felt a lot of love, and that was like coming out of a really hard time, obviously with my family. Like my mom still wasn't healed yet. Things were just really rocky, and yet we were still able, you know, she was well enough to the point where we could go out for dinner. Ironically, I was the one that got sick on my birthday evening, but that seems to always happen for some reason. So, you know, I just felt a lot of love on my birthday, and I was so grateful for that as well. Of course, after Thanksgiving and all that, my family took me back home here in Seattle. Seattle. Then they stayed with me for, I think, a few days, if not a week. I can't quite remember. It's kind of blurring my mind because they came back up for Christmas and spent about 2 or 3 weeks with me here in Seattle, and then, you know, after New Year's they went back down. So again, lots of family time, and I personally loved it. So yeah, it was really great. Ooh, I did get a promotion and a raise. I got the promotion and raise on November 16th, so just the day before my birthday. So yeah, that was also nice. Other than that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. I really should have written down like a more robust list, but you know, it's also fun to just kind of ramble and try to retell it from memory. If there's anything I missed, I can include it whenever, but I think these are the highlights. I just remembered that I did get to squeeze in one last trip before like the full lockdown began. I got to go to LA and San Francisco for work, actually. So work trips are always, you know, fun, and they keep things a little exciting. So I got to fly out, enjoy some sunshine. You know, it was a really fast and busy trip, but it was still really fun to just kind of like go in another environment and explore. That was in, I think, mid to late February. Oh wait, no. It was right before Valentine's Day. So yeah, so that was also really fun. And then lockdown. Well, yeah. So that brings us to 2020, and like I said, it's the 18th. You know, honestly, this year has not been off to a great start. I found out some really difficult family news, that my grandpa has cancer and doesn't have a long time left to live. So obviously that's devastating. There's also a lot of familial drama that's going along with it that I will not get into, but it's just a lot is happening. Starting off the year on that note was not easy, and also, as I alluded to while I was recapping 2020, I did break up with my boyfriend at the start of this year. How do you say that? It's a first for me. Do you say I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, or do you say you broke up with your boyfriend? Because I don't know. Essentially, I became single again, like right at the beginning of the new year. So very heavy things to kind of kick us off. But you know, like I said, hopefully things can only get better from there. There was also a lot going on in the world. I'm having like flashbacks politically, socially, and just like emotionally, all of it. Like, it's been a very rough, rocky start, but we're gonna stay positive, okay? I'm trying to convince myself to stay positive because honestly, I'm in quite the slump. I'm very kind of depressed, like, not because of the breakup, it's just like work feels stagnant, like I just feel like stuck, uninspired, unmotivated, and just not great. But you know, I've like kind of picked myself back up. I am cooking a bunch, I'm trying to like clean, and I mean, like, I clean all the time, but like I like cooked a bunch, I cleaned, I'm like, you know, doing makeup and getting dressed, and like I'm just trying to get my life back into some semblance of order and fun, and just trying to live, you know? I've been stuck in that slump for a few weeks now, so I just need to get my act back together. Come on, Phoebe, it's fresh time, okay? Nothing's crunching, it's just, I just need to do it. So hopefully nowhere to go but up, and let's check back in soon. But essentially that was a recap of 2020. You know, obviously a lot of details are missing from that. This is just within my personal life, right? There was so much that went on politically that I don't think I can even get into. Like, there's just so much that happened, but I think it was the year that I like really started getting interested in like what was going on. I know that it's bad that I didn't do that previously, but you know, I just didn't care growing up, and now like I realize that it is so important for our everyday lives. So really got into that. Obviously I had to pay really close attention to all of the goings on at work, so you know, it's just been a lot, but we're past it now. Let's keep moving forward, and I really do have hope that things will get better. Well, that was quite the recap. I hope everyone else that is watching is staying healthy and safe, and hopefully happy in one way or another. I just hope we're all doing well, and I want to do well this year as well. Well. I don't really know how to close this out, but I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go eat. Until next time, bye!